Today I'm going to teach you how to speak plant language. So instead of memorizing requirements for each individual plant, you can just look at it and know if it needs watering or if it's time to put the watering can down. Hi friends, welcome back to my channel, and if you're new here, my name is Larissa and I'm here to share my journey as a new plant parent. If you like this video, please hit the subscribe button so you won't miss all the tips and tricks that I learn along the way. And today I'm gonna teach you how to listen to your plants to know their watering needs. But I know what you're gonna say.
Oh, but it's easy, you just check the soil, and if the soil is dry, you water it.
But that's not that simple. Sometimes you can check the soil with your finger on the top layers and it's dry, but in the bottom and in the middle of the vase where the roots are is actually moist. And also there are some plants who are more sensitive to dry soil, and there are other plants who hate any kind of moisture around them. So it's better if you actually understand what is going on with the plant. So the first thing is to get to know your plants. You know when you have like a cat or a dog and you know when they are not doing well because they're sleeping too much or like they are too agitated. So it's kind of the same idea. You need to know your plant to know how they look like when they're healthy. So really, pay attention to a plant. How does it look like when a day after you water it, when it's like fully watered, or how does it look like after a week without watering, or even 2 weeks without watering. And touch the leaves also, because the leaves can tell a lot about the water requirements for a plant. Because you have, for instance, a plant like the succulent that have very hard leaves and very thick leaves, is because they store water inside their leaves. So they have kind of like a reserve of water, like if you had an emergency fund, you save every month for emergency fund, and if you lose your job, you still have some savings to go on. It's like the same idea here. But other plants like the fern especially, or even the spider plant, they don't have this kind of reserve. You can see the leaves are really thin. So it's like a person who is living, paycheck to paycheck, and if that person doesn't get paid one day or loses its job, it's like they're gonna struggle a lot. That's what happened with a plant like this. They don't have a water reserve, so if you don't water them, they struggle. Another thing to notice is when the plant has these very thick leaves, you actually can tell if they need watering by touching the leaves and feeling how firm it is. Because what happens is, when the plant runs out of moisture in the soil, they're gonna start tapping into these emergencies. Like you take money out of your savings to buy more plants. That's what happened. That's what they're doing. So the reserve inside the plant's gonna start to run low, and the plant's gonna feel a little softer. In the case of the pilea, they are easier to fold. In the case of the succulents, you can see that the leaves are kind of shrinking. And the same principle goes for when we're talking about the structure of the plant. So water is essential to plants, not just to keeping them alive and carrying nutrients, but in the plants, water also play a role in the structure the plant has, especially in smaller plants. You can imagine like is a water balloon full of water. If you fill it all with water all the way to the top and you tie it up, you're gonna look like a perfectly round balloon, very firm to the touch, and you have this very defined shape. But if you take the half of the water out, it will become like squishy and it doesn't have a very defined shape. That's kind of what happens. And you can see that very clearly in the succulents. They kind of shrink, they look wrinkled when they need watering. There are other plants also, like the spider plant, the petunias, the polka dot plant, they are kind of dramatic. So they completely lose their structure when they need water. So one day you look at them, they are fine, and the other day you look at them, they're completely, it's like they fainted. My spider plant actually, it kind of looks like bluish a little bit when it needs watering. It's completely a drama queen. And let me know in the comments down below if you have a drama queen like that at home. And another way you can know if your plant needs watering is by lifting up the pot. So with time and some experience, you will learn how much a pot that is moist, with the soil is moist, how much should weigh. And one day you're gonna lift it up and it will look strangely light, like it should be heavier. That's when you know when it's completely dry. And it takes a while for you to get used to that. So you can start practicing. So let's say you just water your plant, lift it up to see how does the pot feels like when the plant is fully watered. And I know you're gonna say like,
but I have a 14-inch pot of like this big monstera, and it's in my grandma's ceramic ancient vase, and I cannot ever possibly lift it up.
I know. That's why you have the water meter. So this is kind of like almost like an extended finger. Instead of like touching just the two first layers, the two first inches of the soil, it goes all the way down. So, and it's gonna tell you if it's dry, moist, or wet. And this is really cheap. You can find it on Amazon. And I will link for it, for this exact one, in the description down below. And I'm also gonna do a video just on how to use your moisture mirror. But well, that's all, and I hope you have a better understanding now of what your plants are saying. And if you like this video, give it a thumbs up, subscribe, and I see you soon. Bye.